So there's a quick one about a guy. He's been married to his wife for like 24 years, 3 adult children, and out of the blue, his wife gave him this giant ultimatum that he either fixes the marriage or there's going to be major consequences. Meanwhile, she's not willing to do anything to help fix it, and then ultimately issues a divorce. Wants a divorce, all that. And he's wondering what the hell to do. Even though all his adult kids are saying, divorce her, she's terrible because, oh yeah, she was cheating on him. Title, I need advice on my cheating wife. He says here, sorry about the length of this, but backstory is pretty long. I'm 49 years old, my wife is 50. We've been married for 24 years, but together longer than that. We actually dated in high school. We have 3 kids, 27, 25, and 21. Our marriage has been very rocky for the last 3 years or so. I definitely bear some of the blame here. Notice he's taking accountability for his actions. I took a job that was very high stress and required me to work ridiculous hours, and during this time, I was definitely emotionally checked out on certain things. During this time, I had also gained an excessive amount of weight and had type 2 diabetes, which caused a prolonged ED problem. Okay, he gained a bunch of weight. That's obviously bad both for his health, but it's going to cause her not to be as attracted to him, so fair enough there on those things. He's not performing in bed. Okay, she wants to get some, but still, he has his issues. But a loving wife of all those years which worked with him and talked to him and communicate. But watch this. I admit that I did not handle this well and basically ignored it because of the embarrassment and low self-esteem that resulted from this. As a result, all this made my wife feel like I did not find her attractive or that I desired her at all. This could not be further from the truth. I'd never been very unfaithful to my wife or even remotely guilty of inappropriate behavior. My wife had told me that she was not happy and that I needed to fix the relationship. I tried to make things better, but when I asked how and what she wanted, all I could get is, you need to figure this out. The age-old, she wants you to be a mind reader. Now, don't get me wrong, the man needs to be the leader in the relationship, because you sure as hell don't want the woman to lead the relationship, and a feminine woman doesn't want to lead the relationship. The problem is that they have a serious communication problem, and no relationship can function right without good communication. And I think here, as you're going to see, this was her excuse to go do what she's always wanted to do, or more like what she's always been doing. Ding, ding, ding. It says here, so after the ultimatum from my wife, I was trying to be more available to her and make changes and thought things were progressing until I was served with divorce papers. So she's playing along, but secretly she's talking to the divorce attorney and all that, and boom. I was pretty much blindsided thinking we were doing much better. Eventually, we decided to reconcile and try to make things work. Yeah, fat chance. I know she had an intimate relationship with another man during this time frame, which she told me about. When we decided to reconcile, I thought that this relationship ended, but I recently found out that it had not. So she gave the divorce papers, and basically officially were separated. Went out, was hooking up with some dude, but guess what? Even upon reconciliation, she's still hooking up with him. And wait, there's more. I do not know she is no longer seeing this person, but have since found out that she had been involved with at least another person since then, and I have no hard proof of them actually being intimate. She often takes business trips, and I suspect that she's having relations with other people, but have no proof. Well, how many people are we talking about here? I think all this was she was just waiting for her opportunity to go hook up with all the guys she's always wanted to hook up with, or has been doing this a long time because once a cheater, always a cheater here. I recently caught her in a lie when she told me she was somewhere she was supposed to be, but I knew she was not there at a hotel because I checked the GPS data on her vehicle. When I confronted her about it, she said she just told me what she did because she did not want me to worry. I knew this was a crock of shit. It was a crock of shit. I love my wife and always have, but I cannot get these things out of my head. Dude, she is not the woman you thought she was. You love what you thought she was. Clearly, this is not who she is. I know for sure of the guy, but suspect that there be others. I told her I can get past this one person she told me about, but I do not think the infidelity has stopped there. I have started drinking a lot so I can just sleep for a few hours at night. I don't know what to do, how to proceed. I can't imagine my life without her in it. Smack. This is a good life with the way she's treating you. That's the life you can't imagine without? Bro, come on here. You deserve better than this. Have some self-respect. I'm sorry you're going through this. I'm sorry you're hurting. And by the way, notice this all started when he took a different job, which probably paid a lot better to make her life better. And yeah, he wasn't used to the bad hours of sleep, and he put on a bunch of weight because he's probably eating a lot of crap bad times of the day. And he would have fixed that, but a loving couple would work together, not this bullshit. She's not who he thought she was. But I kind of handle the idea of her stepping out on me. Any advice would be appreciated. As a side note, my children think she is totally unfaithful and think I should have left and divorced her already. Well, all three of your adult kids are saying you, Dad, need to divorce Mom. What does that say? He doesn't mention if they're all boys or girls or a mixture of them, but all kids are saying this? What does that say? I've never said a bad word to them about her and have routinely defended her to them. I know I'm being naive or even intentionally blind to her behavior, but I've loved her for the majority of my life and cannot even imagine a life without her. Smack, smack, smack. Dude, come on. When your kids are even telling you to dump Mom, that tells you everything. She's not who you thought she was. But this is the problem, guys, when men make their whole lives about their wives and make them out to be the whole source of their being in this world. There's a lot more to it. This guy, I know he's hurting, and I'm sorry, but he's 50 years old or 49 or whatever the hell it is. There's plenty of life to live, but you can't be with someone like this. I think this guy needs to do is accept reality, as hard as it is, talk to a divorce attorney, find out his options, and end it with her. And I'm willing to bet you that the guys that she really likes, eventually they're going to not be interested in her, and she'll come crawling back, mark my words, and move on. He's got the kid support, for goodness sake. But you cannot make your wife, your girl, whatever, the center of your universe. And the second you do, they lose respect for you. This guy clearly did. And she wasn't there to communicate with him and work on it together when there were issues. Fair enough, there were issues. I mean, if he was getting ED and couldn't pleasure her, then okay, fair enough, they can work together. And he put on weight, okay, he needed to work on that, but you see what I mean? And I want to bet you that if the situation was different, and he would have worked with her and communicated with her, but she wanted him to figure it all out, you know? So it's just a mess here. There are times when you just have to finally cut your losses and move on. And he'll be okay, but he has to understand she's not the person that he thought she was. That's the problem with all these stories. These guys can't get that. They had this idea built up in their mind, this fantasy, who their girl is, and then this happens, and they don't want to let her go. So very important things to learn from this story. I do wish this guy the best.